What we're going to do is procure both stock materials and non-stock materials in the same order and see how they are different. So we have created a material, coffee beans 06, and to order stirrers we have to create stirrers. Did we create stirrers? I'm not sure. Let's go check. Go to mm01, type in stirrers 01, and it's a raw material, but we want to create it as a non-stock material. So use nlag and hit OK. And as usual, select basic data 1, purchasing, accounting. Select Chicago 1, stirrers, whatever, basic unit of measure, each. It's not measured in pounds, right? Enter some material group, enter, and just save it. All right, now let's go to ME21N. Select 4001 and say coffee beans 06, 100 pounds. Right, and then stirrers, STIRRERS 01. Say, we are ordering 1000 stirrers. Oops, I see a red there. What's the problem? You see the warning at the bottom? Account assignment mandatory for stirrers. It didn't say that for coffee beans, right? The obvious reason is coffee beans are a different material type and stirrers are a different material type. So this one is a stock material and this one is a non-stock material. And how are they different? Based on the material type. This uses ROH for material type. This uses nlag for its material type. So go back to the material master if you have questions on the different material types, how they are different, and see more examples of different kinds of materials. Now, so SAP is not allowing us to go forward because it's not a warning, it's an error. So you can't save it. Well, you can save it technically, but you can't really do anything with it. So how do we fix this problem? Well, we got to do something like this. We got to put an account assignment of K. K means cost center. Hit enter. And then at the line item level, of course, put a price. And then at the line item level, go to account assignment tab and put a cost center here. If you put a K for cost center, if you go to the possible list of values, you'll see that K stands for cost center. So what's really happening here? Why is it that the coffee beans does not require a cost center, but stirrers need a cost center? Well, when coffee is ordered and goods are received, coffee stays in stock in the warehouse. So coffee is really stock. Let me go back here. So when you order coffee, coffee stays as stock in the warehouse because it's a stock material, raw material. And stirrers are raw material too, but you have created it as nlag, non-stock material. That means the system does not track the stock. Well, there is still stock, but system does not track the stock and it's not treated as stock. When non-stock materials like stirrers or baking sheets are ordered, they don't stay as stock. They are deemed as consumed immediately. Now I know it's confusing, so just stay with me here. When coffee beans are received and put in stock, it's sitting there waiting to be consumed, right? So the principle is really simple. This is the principle of dual entry accounting. So for every transaction, there should be an equal and opposite amount of entries, equal credits, equal debits. Think of it like a seesaw. You put something here, you put something here, equal and opposite, it's balanced, right? On one hand, we have paid the vendor, say a value of $1,000. For what? 100 pounds of coffee. And we have 100 pounds of coffee sitting here. So it's balanced. So we have stock of 100 pounds and we have paid the vendor of $1,000. Now, how about non-stock materials? Let's say we have ordered $1,000 worth of stirrers, right? The same vendor, and we don't store them as stock. Say we get 10,000 stirrers. Where are they? Well, they are there in the warehouse. Nobody's going to eat them. But where are they? They are deemed as consumed. What does that mean? It's not in the stock, but it's still in the warehouse. That's totally confusing. Definitely. No, they are kept physically in the warehouse, but the system is not tracking the stock. So there are three things here. They are physically in the warehouse. And second point is SAP is not tracking it, not tracking the stock, not tracking the value. And we are saying the stock is deemed as consumed. So they're physically in the warehouse, the stock is deemed as consumed, but SAP is not tracking it. You got to understand these three things really to understand what non-stock materials are. So logistically speaking, like I said, there's no difference between coffee beans and stirrers in terms of procurement. They're there in the warehouse like any other stock. But SAP is not tracking the stock because we have created that material as a non-stock material. All right. Now, when SAP is not tracking it, that means that it is off the books. And when something goes off the books, it has to be either consumed or damaged. When I mean consumed, there are many possibilities. A shop that requires coffee stirrers could consume it. Or the coffee stirrers could be burned and they're gone. They're off the books now. So when they're consumed, somebody is bearing the cost of it. That's the bottom line. How can somebody bear a cost for a material? Somebody in the company? That's done using what is called as a cost center. Now, there are other ways of consuming. For example, a customer could consume some stock, and that's called consumption via sales order. A production order, meaning an order to manufacture cakes, could consume raw material. So that's called consumption against a production order. Right? There are different ways in which stock can be consumed. And the simplest way is consumption against a cost center or a department. The word cost center, don't let that word scare you. A cost center is a technical word for a department. So what departments does my coffee shop have? I have a marketing department taking care of flyers and advertising my coffee shop. I have a production department making cakes, pastries, and all the good stuff. I have my HR department taking care of employees, salaries, promotions, etc., etc. I have a finance department taking care of accounting. Right? Each department will incur some costs. The HR department might need paper for printing. So paper is a cost that the HR department is incurring, and paper needs to be procured. So all orders of papers that are coming in will be charged against the HR department if that's the only department that uses it. Why are we not putting in stock and charging directly to the HR department? That's a good question. We'll get to that in a minute. So for now, let's create this cost center. And creating a cost center is creating a code for a department. As simple as that. Okay? Now, How to create a cost center? The transaction for that is the transaction to create a cost center is KS01, and the controlling area is 2000. That's what we have been already using. And we're going to create a cost center for HR01, and this is valid from today. Give it a name, HR department, or a description, doesn't matter. Person responsible, say I'm responsible, and the cost center category, say administration, because it's all HR, right? Administration. And the hierarchy code, again, you can always go and select from the possible list. Say finance and administration. Company code, of course, is US01, and the currency is USD. That will be derived automatically, and save. Oops. Okay, so it says the company code is not created. Let's fix this problem real quick. Go to enterprise structure, assignment, controlling, assign company code to controlling area, select 2000, click on new entries, enter US01. Don't worry about this step, it's not important for us. Right? And I've done some magic behind the scenes. So let's go back and try this again. KS01, HR01, put a name of HR department. The person responsible is Siva. And the business area is something. Hit enter, save it. Now let's go try to order those stirrers again. 4001, and order coffee beans for the first item and stirrers for the second item. It says account assignment mandatory, and we have said in the A column or the account assignment column, put a value of K. Hit enter, put a price. The price could be $10, $20, whatever. And in the account assignment, we're going to say HR01. So what we are essentially saying is the cost of one quantity of stirrers, whatever the price is, the cost of stirrers is to be consumed by the HR department. And don't worry about this error, we're going to fix this. But try to understand this concept. The cost of stirrers is consumed by this department. So when something is consumed, it's no longer in stock. Done. It's consumed already. That's the reason why SAP does not really track stock, because it's consumed. It's done. You can physically keep it in the warehouse because you don't want to keep your stirrers right by your desk, right? You could keep it in the warehouse, but purely from a consumption perspective, they are consumed. Done. They are no longer tracked as stock. So the vendor has been paid and some department has consumed it, and that's how it will be accounted. Right? Now let's go fix this problem. Version 0 is not defined for fiscal year 2016. And the way to fix that problem is go open a new window, go to OKEV. This is all controlling, so you don't have to really understand it. Somebody else will fix these things for you. So since there is no finance consultant, we are doing it all on our own. Enter controlling area 2000, click OK, and it says I've locked the cost center. All right, so we saved that. Go back, and come here. I'm gonna say no and try OKEV again. Hit enter. And go to version 0 and settings for each fiscal year, right? And here enter or copy 2009 into 2016. That's the current fiscal year, and save it. Doesn't matter any transport, and we're done. Let's see if this gets refreshed. Click enter, save. Document still faulty. No, we want to edit it. Purchase order, blah blah blah. Looks like that's not refreshed. So let's go back and come again. Do you need to save the document? No. So ME21N. Put your vendor of 4,000. Everything else is taken care of for you. Just start entering the materials. So coffee beans, the first item, and stirrers, the second item. It says account assignment mandatory. We know what to do. Enter K here, and then enter a price here, and then enter HR as the department that's going to consume the cost of that material. That's it. Now you can save that transaction, right? All right, what have we seen here? Creation of cost center, transaction K01, and we have entered some details, doesn't matter what details, and we have entered K is the account assignment for stirrers, and under account assignment we have entered admin, HR, whatever as the cost center that we have created. So the cost of this material, whatever the quantity is being absorbed or consumed by this cost center, and that's achieved through account assignment. So account assignment is a modifier that modify. So account assignment is really a modifier to the way accounting is done. And like I said, the logistics does not change. You go to same MIGO, receive both the materials. You go to same MIRO, pay for both the materials. Nothing really changes from a logistics perspective. The only change is from an accounting and consumption perspective. And the account assignment column is used to effect that modification. In this case, we are consuming against a cost center. There are other ways to consume it, which we'll see in the next set of chapters. So we can create more cost centers. Marketing could be another cost center. So create a material called flyer and then consume it against a cost center of marketing, right? So if the marketing department needs flyers, they'll be consumed against the marketing department cost center. So anybody creating a purchase order for this material should have to enter K here and then enter the cost center here. Done.